what I usually do in the morning is ping Harold, Hank, Billy, get them all worked up. Then I move on to HR, see what I can stir up. Then bother my boss with annoying questions. That's what I do.
That's your approach to time management?
Yes.
Love it. Welcome to the Career Corrective, your career lifeline that gives you laugh lines with Jenny and Allie. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we are continuing our series about habits. Talking about habit stacking from the book. We talked about it a little bit last time, but we're continuing our chat about atomic habits because it's wonderful. But, Jenny, before we get into that, we didn't finish our home decor. People are probably on the edge of their seat thinking,
gosh, we just left them hanging.
Yeah. What are the other trends?
Yes.
What?
Let's talk about them.
Yes. They were in the middle of their project. They followed everything we said in the last episode, and they're waiting to finish the room. What else do they have to say?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. So next is integration of natural elements. Bring the outdoors in. It's been a trend, but it's been a trend for a reason. Natural greenery, materials like wood, stone, everything nature has to offer because it calms us and it enhances our well-being. What else do you want?
I don't know. Bring it inside. Everything goes inside.
What do you think?
I like it. I like to incorporate natural elements. I think bringing in plants is a good start if you want to dabble in that. But yeah, having natural elements, it is calming. I agree with this.
Here's the issue for me with the plants.
Okay.
They say the green thumb. If you have a green, I have no fingers that are green.
I don't either, but I try to get low maintenance plants.
Okay, let's give a good example of because I don't think we're the only ones. And I have to disagree. You definitely have a green thumb. You've kept plants alive for at least a week.
Oh my goodness. You're giving me way too much credit. Thank you.
You replace your plants every 7 days. That's a habit.
Yes. It's an atomic habit.
We can't be the only ones who have trouble keeping plants alive, but want the natural elements. So can you think of the name of a low maintenance plant?
Absolutely. I'm staring at it right now.
What is it?
It's a snake plant.
Love those.
I do too. And they purify the air. I water it probably once a week. Actually, my grandmother had a green thumb and she would water her plants once a week. Same time, same day, but just once a week. And I don't know, all of her plants were healthy and thriving. So
this is Jenny's grandmother, who's not the same as my grandmother. It's the other side. And she had this beautiful window with all of her plants. And I think we just learned something. She made a weekly habit of watering the plants.
My goodness. Yes.
She was teaching us. Wait, are they safe for animals?
The snake plants? Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get one.
I think you should. I even have some that are on my balcony that I don't know if they're safe for animals, but I have them.
The cats have a 50-50 shot.
And the little guy was munching on a few of them and he's still alive. So I feel... Seems good.
Promising.
Yes.
The next one on our list is multifunctional and utility spaces.
Yeah, like a mudroom.
Oh, that's a utility space. I'm thinking multifunctional. Like, what else are we doing in the mudroom?
We're exercising.
Lifting up our heavy boots.
We're doing our laundry in there.
The mud's there anyway, so.
There. We're washing our dogs in that room.
This says, as lifestyles evolve, there's a focus on creating multifunctional areas. These spaces are designed for practicality without compromising on style, reflecting a desire for homes that cater to diverse needs.
I like it. I'm about multifunctional spaces. I think it's a great idea.
Can you explain the multifunctional part, though, to me?
Let's go with the mudroom. It can look very nice. I think it's been a trend for a while now to have a nice mudroom with a nice big bench and little storage for shoes and things like that, hanging up your coats. That way it's just kind of off to the side of your house in a designated area. So where it's not the first thing you walk in, you see all that stuff.
Okay, I thought they meant multifunctional. First we host a happy hour and then we put our shoes away. That's what I thought.
I mean, you could.
I would go.
What you want to do? Have a bar or mudroom. That sounds great.
Maybe I'm just trying to make everything a bar or a lounge. That could also be true. Or a coffee bar.
Welcome to the lounge mudroom.
Your dirty shoes are welcome. Just don't put them on the bar.
Right. And a disco ball drops down.
Definitely. Only after 4 p.m.
Right, exactly. I love it.
The last one on our list for decor, but we do have something fun right after this as well today. It's a twofer on our distraction talking today.
Can't wait.
Sustainable and eco-friendly design.
The majority of my furniture is made out of cardboard. So I would say that I'm very eco-friendly.
Well, I will say you do repurpose very well, and I think I do as well. Just as far as things that have been used prior, we can think of other ways to use them. To not go out and buy new is one way to achieve that as well.
Yeah, I noticed in Florida, there's tons of thrift stores. That's really big, the thrifting, the secondhand, because a lot of people are moving, the transplants, and so you can really find some good stuff.
I love that. And I really did read that they're making sustainable and sturdy furniture out of cardboard.
That's pretty cool.
My friend Sarah is really into repurposing. I'll have to ask her some of the stuff that she does, but she'll send me pictures once in a while. Her father's in construction and they do a lot of home projects. She'll take materials that they've had. Speaking of mudrooms, I think she made something for the entryway where they can hang their stuff up.
That's neat. I really admire people that can do that.
I would love to be that way, but it's not going to happen. So just work from our strengths, right? That's what we talk about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe we'll have Sarah on to talk about her repurposing sometime, though. That would be fun.
It would be fun.
Okay, so Jenny and I are going to do another taste test right now. We're not going to chew in your ear ever, but we want you to know if we can save you any money from us trying something, and then you can buy it if it's delicious. Well, you'll have to take our word for it, or tell you it's disgusting so you don't have to buy it. That's what we want to do for you. We're very mindful of your budget.
Absolutely, we are.
Okay, so today it is of course, it has to be Greek yogurt. Of course it does. But
weird if it wasn't.
It's a product that tastes like ice cream. We're tasting the Yasso, and it's the cookies and cream flavor. We're going to taste these for you right now. We're going to start with one flavor. We went a little crazy with the Quest chips, getting all the flavors.
Yeah. Did you make a dent in those, by the way? How are you coming along with those chips?
The box looks like this now. The taco seasoned ones are empty and the rest are still there. The dirt flavored ones are still in there. Oh, that's how I'm good at repurposing, though. Those will end up in some sort of chicken dish.
I was just going to say, oh my gosh, you could crush them up. Use it for coating on the chicken.
Yes. Next time you come over, you'll probably notice it tastes a little like Quest chicken.
For protein, thanks.
Yeah, you know what you need with your chicken is extra protein. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah, I just gotta unwrap it.
Okay, me too.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
You're not excited.
You just have to tell yourself, keep in mind it's not real ice cream, but it's delicious. Cookies and cream, you can't go wrong.
I am getting creaminess vibes.
Absolutely. Wait, I gotta take another bite.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, I like it.
The cookie part is very similar texturally to cookies and cream ice cream. So obviously you have to like cookies and cream ice cream to think this is good.
Right.
But I really love the texture of cookies and cream. And this, to me, I like that. It's almost like soft, but still crumbly.
Yes. I love them.
Yeah, this is delicious.
I think the second bite really sealed the deal.
It's a little bit more tangy than ice cream.
Yeah. Which is a nice change.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to like Greek yogurt to like these. What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
I will say you're not going to be full from it. It's definitely just to get the flavor.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and eat the whole box.
Not that it matters, but just for informational purposes, they're 90 calories and 5 grams of protein. This is a nice alternative, but it definitely isn't the same as ice cream.
Right.
But I think you should try them.
I do too. Try all the flavors and let us know what you think.
I was just going to say that I heard that the mint is very good, so I'm going to try that one next.
Yes, that'll be our next one.
Yeah, we can try it for them.
All right, so in today's segment of You Be the Judge, we're going to do a little habit stacking exercise from the book Atomic Habits. Using Allie as our volunteer, and you, our listeners, can be the judge on whether this sounds like something you want to try for yourself. Doesn't that sound fun?
Yes. I'm going to have a Friday night party. Do you guys want to come over and do some habit stacking exercise in our mud room? In our mud disco room?
Making espresso martinis.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the way it's going to work is you're going to give insight into your daily routine so that we can use it to decide what you want to stack onto those and illustrate how these could work for our listeners. Step 1, you're going to identify your current habits. Habits you don't need to think about. They happen automatically. So, for example, brushing your teeth, making coffee, checking your phone, but not first thing in the morning.
Right. Okay. I make a cup of tea every morning. I walk the dogs every day when I get a break from work. There's no set time to that. It's just when I get and sometimes I'll just do mini breaks where they get 10 minutes. Okay. You know, I refill my water bottle.
Oh, my darling.
8 kajillion. Yeah. And I do some sort of movement in the morning.
Okay.
And the stuff I want to add, something I've done off and on, but I'd love to have it stick better, is getting my things ready the night before. Like I said, I exercise every morning, whether it's going to the gym or walking, and 50% of the time, my stuff is ready the night before, and 50% of the time it's not. Prep for the next day is big in my mind, and I'm sometimes really good at it, and sometimes I'm not great at it. Where do you think I could stack that?
I think right before you relax for the night, before you finally get into whether you're sitting watching a show, fit that in there before you do it. And then when you sit down and you relax, that's your reward.
Okay, so I have to think of something I do every day that has to do with relaxing. Oh, I know. Once I do finally sit down, I always take the dogs out before, because if I don't, when I sit down.
Yeah, somebody's got to go to the bathroom.
Right. So right when I take them out, I could go in at that time, get my clothes ready while they're fenced in the backyard so they can go. and I'll do it then. So I will let you all know how this works.
Yes.
If I'm successful.
I think you're going to be successful.
We talked about this prior, and you had some great tips for the listeners to keep it going, actually, for me as well. So I thought you might want to share those.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is to be consistent. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Check in with yourself.
I think my workouts are going to improve because my outfits are going to be up-leveled. I think that's what's going to happen.
I agree. And your playlist? What's your playlist like?
Oh my gosh.
Because you'll send me songs. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting choice.
You are totally right. And I have no problem calling myself out. I have odd taste in music. On my workout playlist is everything from concertos to rap to there's nothing that's not on there. And I can be just as excited to work out to a ballad as a traditional get you going workout song. I have for everything from Gordon Lightfoot to Mozart to the Rolling Stones to Busta Rhymes. It's all on there.
Yes.
It just works, especially early in the morning. I start out with okay, let me walk you through this. We start out with something very melodic, I just woke up, I need to ease into this. And then 10 minutes in, I'm ready for something that is thrashy and hard and yelling and terrible and loud. But then I need to bring it back down,
Right. So it'll be Metallica.
Yes.
And then it'll be like some smooth jazz.
Yes. Barry White. Don't leave anyone out.
No, everybody's included.
I texted my friend Erin because she is so into music.
Yes.
She lives and breathes music, everything in her life. Music is life to her. So I texted her. I text her weird songs as well. And she wrote back, Mr. Gordon Lightfoot, you listen to Sundown and tell me
if you don't feel pumped.
How about there's this feature on my YouTube Music. This is how I even found this song. It'll say, based on your playlist. And I'm thinking, how are they basing anything on my playlist? I'm all over the map. Well, the suggestions are also
all over the map. They're like, I don't know. We're just going to throw some shit out there for her. She'll probably love it.
And I do. I didn't even know half of these names, like the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh, yeah, that pops up for me a lot, too.
I didn't know them before. I love that.
Why not?
Eye in the Sky. It's kind of creepy, but I love it.
Just picture your face as you're working out, kind of like.
It's curious.
In the mood. Yeah. You're like, oh, look at this weight. Oh, I'm going to pick it up. So you're a little heavy today. Oh.
I think it's exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger does.
Yeah. Definitely.
He's lifting heavy things to the Alan Parsons Project. Arnold goals.
Yes. Absolutely.
He doesn't need a playlist. Who am I kidding?
No, he is the playlist.
Yeah. He just recites his movie lines. Just listens to himself going like off on Terminator tangents.
Kindergarten Cop. I do not have a tumor.
I saw an interview with him where he talks about that he gets such a kick out of himself. He thinks that, well, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I think his story is very inspiring. And I guess people would think, oh, he's a white dude, it's not hard. But he was from a little town in Austria and knew that he wanted to be a bodybuilder. And his parents thought he was nuts. And he worked his way into the gym. And there was one gym, it was far away. I don't know. It's kind of like the stories that grandparents tell where they walk to school backwards in the snow with no shoes, I guess. But he became Mr. Universe through all this, long story short. But then when he wanted to break into movies, he went to, I don't know who the producer was, basically saying, I really can't understand you, so you could be an extra or in the background. And he said, no, I want to be the main movie star. So he worked on that goal. And obviously, I think he's one of the highest grossing actors in the history of Hollywood, but he was talking about the way he talks. And he said, I don't know if those lines would be as popular that people repeat, but he gets a kick out of it that people repeat it, and he acknowledges it's probably because it's the way he says it and how his dialect is, not traditional. So I thought that was a good sense of humor about it.
I enjoy his dialect. I really do. I love anyone that
can make a repeatable line that you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're funny.
Now.
Yes, you are.
Just to myself, I sometimes think I'm funny. I think I say funny stuff sometimes, but I know other people don't, so that's okay.
What? There's this crew, is like, she's not funny.
Not really that funny. But...
Well, I do think you and I both have a non-traditional sense of humor, so.
I agree.
Just like my playlist, so you either like it or you don't, and that's for you that's fine.
That's fine. We're
gonna keep fine. If you don't get the comedy of Nick Kroll and how Liz is hysterical, then that's fine.
So funny. Every time I watch it, I find something else that I think is so funny. Let's bring some of these ideas into the workplace, shall we? Yeah, let's chat through some good habits for work, just in general.
Great. I think that'll be nice for our listeners. Bring it back to the workplace.
Yes. All right. So let's start your day with intent. Always a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to help you stay aligned with what's important, and it motivates you to tackle tasks with purpose.
I see this as you could do this in two different ways. Okay. Tackling tasks would be one. So it would be, what's a high priority? I have to do a report for a team meeting, and I want to make sure that gets done. So you can take a section of that and say, today I'm going to get the PowerPoint slides relating to our Q1 results done. Put it on a sticky note, place it front and center, schedule it in your calendar. The focus for your day can be something practical like that, but it could also be, I'm definitely intending not to lose it on Helen in HR today because she makes me annoyed. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to tell her what I really think.
Right. And do that. We're not going to do that.
So that I can keep my job and throw my mudroom cocktail party on Friday.
Right.
And afford the espresso martini ingredients. I'm going to keep it to myself, and I'm going to deep breaths instead.
Yeah, or I'm going to walk myself to the freezer, and I'm going to grab frozen yogurt.
Yeah, so. And you'll feel better, and then Helen can continue to believe that she's helpful.
Right.
And not annoying.
That's right.
For one more week. And then when you get that bonus, you can tell her, no, just kidding. I got paid, Helen.
In your face, Helen.
Nobody cares about the policy XYZ, so you can stop putting it in your emails. As per the policy. According to your contract.
Gross.
We know, Helen. We know. You have no fun in your life and you just want to make us as miserable. That's your habit.
Ugh. You need a new habit, Helen. Prioritize your tasks. Use the eat the frog method. Have you heard of this one, Al?
Yes.
Okay, so you tackle the most challenging task first. Get it out of the way.
Right.
Get it done.
Yes.
So getting the toughest task out of the way early boosts your energy and confidence.
I like to approach things like that all together. I always like to get the worst done first and then think of, I'm going to relax later. I'm going to enjoy later, incentivizing myself. But at work, we've talked about this before. Think about things that are going to bring the most value to leadership, your boss, as the things you want to prioritize. You don't have to do this, of course, but if you get those things out of the way, you know that it's going to get you the farthest along in your workday, because if they're happy with the work that you're doing and that it benefits them, it's only going to come back and benefit you. So just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Practice mindful time management. Let's break your day into blocks of focused work. This is going to help you because it's going to boost your concentration. It's going to reduce burnout, and it's going to allow you to accomplish more in less time.
There's a really simple way that I like to think of this. You can color code your Outlook calendar and do time buckets. What I have helped people with, and I've done myself, is pick a color for administrative tasks. So let's just say it's purple. Let's have fun with it and say it's purple. Yeah. You put hour blocks, 25-minute blocks, whatever you have, look at your week, and you schedule in whatever your reports are, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and put those on your calendar in purple and have them set. You can always move them later if you need to.
Absolutely.
Anything that you have that you know is recurring, put it on your calendar, put it in a color, and I like to make it thematic. So the purple would be anything to do with reports I have to hand in to a certain person. Anything for a certain project would be, let's say, orange. Meetings are yellow, but you put in time buckets and you make your calendar color coded. And then that way, as things come up, you can literally see, I do or I don't have time for this. Or then you can use that to communicate back to your boss. I'm happy to do this, but something else has to give. That can also feed back to data that can help you communicate if you're overworked.
Yes, that's wonderful. Next, we're going to regularly check in with yourself. At midday or after a major task, just pause for 5 minutes to assess how you're feeling. Checking in with yourself lets you adjust your priorities and ensures that you're staying aligned with your values and your well-being.
So if you want to punch Helen by noon, then you know you have to adjust something. Get up from your computer, get out for a walk.
Right, and then punch her.
But you're punching her like with a calm, knowing demeanor. It's definitely the thing you want to do at that point.
It's just a slap.
Disclaimer, we do not endorse violence. This is the comedy part of the show.
Set aside time each week to connect with a coworker, either informally or through a quick chat. This is going to help because positive relationships at work enhance your overall job satisfaction and makes the work environment more enjoyable. I actually do this. It is hard working from home. You don't have the interactions that you would in an office setting. So I'll always ping one of my coworkers and just say hello and kind of check in.
If you're not someone that's not your nature, like me, one thing that I've done is when we work on something together, I've had a team or people that I've worked on a project with, I'll just do that and integrate it into the meeting, not veering off or anything like that, but just working more collaboratively as a way to build the relationship and to be my genuine self in that format, because it's a good way for me to get to know people, because the purpose of us being there is work. So just building that relationship that way, those types of congenialities do come out more organically when you are working on things together. So that's the way that I do it. Same exact thing as Jenny's saying, just a different style.
Yes, that's right. All right. Take regular breaks. Step away from your desk or your workspace every 1 to 2 hours to recharge.
I want to do this more because I think it really is helpful. Getting away from your workspace, getting away even for a minute, I think can be really helpful and reset how you're feeling.
Yeah. Yesterday, for example, I stepped away to clean my baseboards.
Hey, whatever. And that's a little bit of getting the blood moving during the day. I love that.
I know. You know what? It's a light day.
Yeah.
Knock out some work, then do a little cleaning. Come back.
Yeah. Yes. I love it.
Practice gratitude at work. Each day, take a moment to recognize something positive at work, something that you're grateful for about your job. Practicing gratitude shifts challenges to positives, making you feel more satisfied and less stressed.
I always think of you all, our amazing listeners, in the worst case scenario. I want to be kind of sitting at your desk with you, not in a creepy way, but in a I'm here for you kind of way.
Not like I'm looking over your shoulder way.
Not on the eye in the sky like the Alan Parsons Project. I just want you to know that I understand the advice that's out there, and even stuff that we talk about. It's really great if you're in an ideal situation. So I always try to think of, what are you going through? What is it actually like in your day? Because I've been there in one form or another, or I've helped people who deal with realistic situations. So when we think about gratitude, I'm thinking, okay, the scenario is that you're stressed, you're unhappy. It's a struggle just to get into your workday. And when you're feeling that way, I think it's go to the practical. Why am I here? I'm here to make money. I'm obviously getting paid, or I would never be here.
Right.
So the gratitude is, even though this is hard, even though this isn't ideal, I'm grateful that I'm able to do A, B, and C for my family or for myself. Whatever it enables you to do or to buy, or even your practicalities of living, if work provides you with that, then that is my go-to move for how to find gratitude for yourself.
Yes. Wonderful. Stay organized. At the end of your day, try to tidy up your workspace. You can even make a to-do list for the next day. An organized workspace reduces your stress and allows you to start the next day with a clear plan.
Something that I want to get into a better habit of, as I mentioned before, just in general, prepping for my next day, but thinking about if you're overwhelmed, stressed, remember before you leave, though, to take whatever you need to do for the next day and put it somewhere prominent. I'm a big user of the Outlook calendar, and as I said before, I truly have always color coded it. So before I'm finished with whatever I'm working on, whether it's with coaching or Jenny and I stuff for the podcast, and throughout my career, I always think about, what can I not forget tomorrow? And I put it at 4 a.m. on my Outlook calendar, and I look there every day before anything else. And then I make sure that anything that is a must do. So if you can't do the perfect version of staying organized, at least do that for yourself. Those non-negotiables that you can't forget, get them somewhere that works for you so that you can have that for yourself to make sure your day is as beneficial to you as possible and getting done what you need.
That's right. Yes. Regularly reflect on your contributions and find ways to improve. Taking ownership fosters a sense of pride in your work and encourages a growth mindset.
Being proactive is a great way to take ownership of your work. We've talked about this, I think, in other episodes, but keeping people updated who need updates on stuff you're working on, being proactive with that, answering a question that a stakeholder might have before they have to ask the question. Those are ways to simply take ownership of your work.
Yes, that's right. And while you're doing that, focus on your professional development as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Set aside some time each week or month to learn something new, whether it's through courses, reading, conversations with mentors.
Yeah. Probably part of why you're listening to this podcast, because we can help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of great books out there that no one wants to read except for me. There's a lot you can find online to help you just with little, the color coding of the calendar. I'm sure I've read that somewhere, and anything that's going to make you more capable in your workday is an example of professional development. It doesn't need to be this big task.
Right. Establish some boundaries. Define clear work-life boundaries, such as setting strict end-of-the-day time and not checking work emails outside of office hours. Boundaries protect your time and energy, reducing stress and helping you maintain a healthy work-life balance.
Yeah, I think a habit for establishing boundaries would be communicating to your boss that you have something outside of work at least a couple of times a week, meaning that you're not going to be available. So it would go something like this. I have a personal commitment every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30, so I'll be leaving or shutting down at 5 those days. If you have to start small, at least a couple of days a week, just setting that habit of this is the time I shut down and I won't be checking in.
Right.
I got this snake plant. It's not going to keep alive if I don't know what I'm doing on the other day of the week because I'm only supposed to water that once a week, but
I'm eating yogurt pops.
Tearing up the Yasos.
You see me with a whole grocery cart full of Yasos. My car with all the wrappers.
What happened? You reversed into this other person. Yeah, my Yaso wrappers were blocking my view.
Would you like one? Am I going to get out of this ticket or not?
Okay, so we're up to assault, bribery.
Celebrate your successes.
When you get out of jail for the assault.
Absolutely. When you get out of jail, you're going to take a moment to reflect on what you've achieved and celebrate the wins, big or small.
I think of this as dessert, celebrating my success. And it's baked into whatever I do. Yes. In my commitment to get up early every morning and move, exercise in some way, I always think, and after that, right after that, you're going to brew. I'm in love with any drink, as Jenny knows.
Yes.
My Yeti water bottle and my tea are big staples in my life. I think about that. I'm going to do this amazing pot of tea. I'm going to heat up my milk. I'm going to get organic cinnamon in there. I think about that just as importantly as the working out and just how much better that's going to taste after I'm finished.
It really does taste better.
That's my celebration. And you all can have whatever your celebration is. If you want to have a party in your mudroom right after your morning workout, then that's what you do.
Engage in positive self-talk. Reframe negative thoughts by reminding yourself of your strengths and your successes.
Okay, so let's use you live here as a way to bring this example to life, because I think this is scientific, 99.99999% of people have a hard time with positive self-talk.
Yeah, guilty as charged.
Okay, what is one thing you can do to catch yourself and to change whatever the negative self-talk would be in your workday or any part of your day into a positive?
Okay, so I could, if the thought pops into my mind, I could just call it out. That's a negative. And then I could flip it around and make it into a positive.
We've talked about you have a coworker who you admire, her communication style.
Yes.
Okay, so what if you said, because we're talking about work.
Yeah.
What if she called you to tell you the same thing happened? What would you say back to her? Do you think it would be the same thing?
Yeah, I would say, you're right.
You're totally terrible.
I'm totally kidding. I would try to give her something positive, tell her that's not actually the reality of it.
But what would you be thinking when you're telling her that?
That she's awesome.
So
I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and I'm going to say, look at you. You're amazing. And I love you.
Okay, maybe it won't work, but I think if you say, what would I really mean if it were her? Why is it different to me? After a while, if there's so many examples where she's still a shining star, if she would have done the same thing and you're not, don't you think over time you'd be like, well, wait a second.
I will do it and I will
Really?
Yes, I will.
Okay, don't tease us. The listeners really want to know if this works.
Okay. I will definitely do it.
If you do this, I'll incentivize you right here.
Okay.
I'll get you a newscaster. I'll get you one of those wind machines that makes it look like you're reporting live from the field during a hurricane.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can be, Jenny, what's going on the scene? And you can be like, wow, the positive self-talk is flying like crazy around. It's up to 65 miles per hour. I've never seen anything like that.
So the next one is to communicate effectively. Keep your manager and colleagues informed by providing regular updates on your progress.
I think a big tool here, not a tool like in a jerk, you're a tool kind of way.
Hank.
If you don't use Outlook, then use your preferred software. But I think keeping templates of things you know you have to update on regularly. If there's a report or a meeting you have regularly, if you're communicating on them, you can just fill in the variables for each one. Having a folder with a bunch of templates in there is a nice way to make that easier for yourself to communicate effectively.
I like that idea.
And we're bringing it on home with the most important one. What is it?
It's to take care of your physical and mental health. Incorporate movement, hydration, mindfulness, everything. Incorporate all the good things and practices into your workday.
And if you can't find your way to doing any of that right now because you're so stressed, how about cut yourself a break and think of all the things that you've done in your life that are awesome, especially when you're feeling stressed at work. Think about all the good stuff you've done. Think about vacations you have coming up. Think about vacations you want to plan. Even if the only thing you can do to take care of your physical and mental health is to get yourself to your job that day and focus on anything that will get you through, you're winning.
That's right.
I think it's easy to forget when you're overtired and stressed how awesome you are and how worthwhile you are. So anything you can do to remember that and keep that front and center for yourself.
Yes. Which it is important to take the time to reflect on that because it is so easy to get caught up in your routine.
Yeah.
And your train of thought that you've grown accustomed to over the years. It's good to learn some good habits in there.
Yeah. So happy that you all joined us today and so appreciative that you hung out with us. Thank you so much. I will give you a little spoiler. We're continuing our series on habits. We're going to talk about boundaries.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
The most universal struggle that I can think of as far as creating good habits for yourself have to do with boundaries, making sure that you make yourself a priority. And it's so hard to do. So we're dedicating an entire episode to help you with boundaries because we really love these atomic habits. These things can really change your life if you want them to. And boundaries are a huge part of that. And it's not easy. So we want to help you with that topic. So that's coming up in our next episode.
I'm excited for the boundary talk.
Jenny's answer is just to smack Helen.
That is setting a boundary. We're just going to help you set healthier boundaries.
Right. Ones that won't land you in jail. Let's hold hands and walk together in that.
Yes. And then I have to release your hand because I still have to smack Helen.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to hang out with you again, and we'll see you next week. But in the meantime,
have a great week.
We love you. Bye.